Hey everyone, welcome back to Web3 Learning Radio. Today, we're tackling a question that's on a lot of people's minds. Is it too late to invest in crypto? Maybe you've been hearing about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even Dogecoin for a while now, and you're wondering if you missed the boat. Well, don't worry, we're going to break it down for you today, and by the end, you'll know whether or not it's still worth diving into the world of crypto. Spoiler alert. It's not too late, and I'll tell you why. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's jump right in. Is it too late to get into crypto? The short answer is no, it's definitely not too late. Sure, Bitcoin's been around for over a decade, and you've probably seen some crazy headlines about people who bought Bitcoin when it was just a few bucks. And now it's worth tens of thousands. You might feel like you missed that golden opportunity, but here's the thing. Crypto is still in its early stages. It's like asking if it's too late to get on the internet back in the year 2000. Spoiler, it wasn't. So, why is it not too late? One big reason. The market is still growing and evolving. Even though Bitcoin is more established, there are so many new projects popping up that have huge potential. Think about Ethereum. It's not just a currency, it's a platform that other cryptocurrencies and decentralized applications, or DApps, are being built on. And it's constantly being upgraded. Then there's DeFi, decentralized finance, NFTs, and a ton of other technologies that are using blockchain to create something completely new. It's kind of like how, even after companies like Google and Facebook exploded in the early 2000s, we still saw other massive companies like Instagram, Uber, and Airbnb take off. Just because the early players are big doesn't mean the game's over. Let me give you an example to make this a little clearer. You know how Bitcoin is often compared to digital gold? That's because it's mostly seen as a store of value, something people hold onto long-term, like a safe investment. But then you have Ethereum, which is more like digital oil. It's what powers the decentralized apps and smart contracts on the blockchain. Both of these have already made huge gains, but they're still growing and evolving, especially with Ethereum's new upgrades. But what about new projects? Just like with tech stocks, there are always up-and-coming players. Solana, Polkadot, and Avalanche are all newer blockchains that offer faster speeds or cheaper transactions compared to Ethereum, and they're gaining serious momentum. Imagine buying into one of these before they really explode. That's the kind of opportunity we're talking about. It's like finding a startup in the early days. Another reason it's not too late? Crypto is way more accessible than it was even just a few years ago. You don't need to be a tech wizard or a financial genius to start investing. There are so many apps and platforms now that make buying and trading crypto super easy. Whether it's Coinbase, Binance, or even PayPal. You can start with as little as a few dollars and dip your toes in before deciding how much you want to commit. Also, let's be real. There's never been a better time to learn about crypto. Back in the early days, it was all pretty confusing, but now there are tons of free resources, like this channel, hint hint, to help you understand the basics. If you're still feeling unsure, don't worry, everyone starts somewhere. Now, I'll be honest, crypto is volatile. You've probably seen those wild price swings, where Bitcoin drops 20% in a day and then rebounds. It's like a roller coaster. But here's where it gets interesting. Over the long term, the value of many cryptocurrencies has trended upwards. It's important to keep in mind that these ups and downs are normal, especially in a market that's still so young. Think of it like investing in tech stocks back in the early days of the internet. There were some wild price swings with companies like Amazon and Apple, but long-term investors who believed in the tech made out pretty well. Crypto is similar in that way, it's a long game. One way to handle the ups and downs? Dollar cost averaging. It's a fancy way of saying, invest a little bit consistently over time. This way, you're not putting all your money in when the price is high, and you're not trying to time the market perfectly. You just put in what you can, when you can, and it averages out over time. It's like when you're not sure whether to eat the whole pizza now or save some for later. The answer? A little at a time. So, to wrap things up, no, it's not too late to invest in crypto. The space is still growing, there are new opportunities popping up all the time, and it's easier than ever to get started. But remember, take your time, educate yourself, and don't rush into anything. Crypto is exciting, but it's important to know what you're investing in. If you're feeling ready to jump in, start small and be smart about it. And hey, if you're still unsure, don't worry. Keep listening to Web3 Learning Radio, and we'll guide you through this wild world of crypto. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and remember, if you think you missed out on Bitcoin, just remember there was a time when people thought the internet was a passing fad. So yeah, you're still early.